I'm here with Dan Motor, Executive Director of Explore Licking County. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm interested in finding out what you feel is on the horizon for 2019 as far as tourism or anything new coming up.
Well, Jennifer, I think it's a great time to be us. I say that all the time. And the economic impact of travel to Licking County right now is at an all-time high. So as numbers were reported in 2018 to the Bureau, we know that travel is a $422 million economic impact to Licking County. And that actually is up $32 million from 2015, the last time the numbers were released. So it is very clear to us at Explore Licking County that travel and visitation is driving the economy here for sure. I think the things that everybody should maybe keep their eyes open for in 2019 is this amazing restoration and renovation of the Cherry Valley Lodge. So we know that Wexford Lodging is investing about $13-14 million into the renovation of that space, which will create Licking County's first ever convention center. So we're super excited about that. We know too that the Evans Skate Park will be opening in the spring of this year, and we're very excited about that because that allows us, the Bureau, to draw in a whole different demographic of people. And I think just what we're seeing in all of the villages and the cities within Licking County, there is that whole idea of sort of renaissance happening in all of our towns. What happened on the downtown square here in Newark is pretty amazing. Granville, Buckeye Lake is posed right now to be back to Buckeye Lake as we know it in the summer months. The dam remediation will be behind us and it's business as usual at the lake. So everything's great right now. It's a good time.
Good. That's awesome. Thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm here with Park Shai, owner and CEO of Shai Commercial Real Estate. We're going to talk a little bit about the real estate market. So, Park, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
It seems like there's been significant activity in the real estate market over all types and locations. Is that perception reality, and what are you observing?
Absolutely. I think that Licking County has been very fortunate to have some very strong influences from the western portion of the county, specifically Etna, Pataskala, New Albany, and their growth with their Google, Facebook, a lot of these other companies that have gone there, the Limited, of course. And they've also provided a whole lot of jobs and and also some apartment complexes and different living options that have affected us and certainly pushes this way.
Good. So if you had a crystal ball and you were to look into 2019 for the real estate market, what do you think you would see?
I think we're going to see continued good growth and a very strong economy locally. We are a little bit in a bubble area because of the things that I mentioned in the first comment. The lucky thing about us is that we have a very high quality of life here that does attract people, and we have a whole lot of jobs that also attracts people to come to our area.
Okay. So if you were to look at kind of the real estate market as a whole, and you would say there's something missing, there's a missing piece. What do you think that would be, and do you see a path to find a solution for that?
It's kind of a two-sided answer question, I believe. The one thing that's missing is that we have more jobs than we have employees.
True.
So that's a very difficult thing to fill, and to fill that, you need to have housing and places for these people to live, and it needs to be affordable housing because these aren't necessarily six-figure jobs. They are warehouse jobs and jobs at different companies that are trying to grow and expand. So I think that a very important part of what we need to have, we have the quality of life, we have the very nice things with great education at COTC and OSUN, CTech, great high schools, Denison University. You can get a good education here. You can have a very high quality of life. Downtown Newark's a beautiful place to live and to raise a family in those areas. But we don't have enough housing, and I'm in hopes that we're going to see some developers that do come in and add some of that housing, houses and apartment living.
Okay. If there are clients coming to you and they've never been in Licking County, what story do you tell them about our area, and how do you sell that?
Well, that's probably the favorite part of my job. I get to take people around, drive them downtown Newark, show them all the wonderful things that are down there with the works in the Midland, the new skate park, all the redevelopment that's been done down there, Jerry McLean's building. I was very lucky to recently take somebody that had never been east of Columbus, who was a developer. They came to town and they fell in love with downtown Newark, and they couldn't believe it. They said, this is a diamond in the rough. And they want to do a development down there. So we're kind of sniffing around for a building for them there, and hopefully maybe some of that housing.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're very welcome.
Hi, I'm here at Matesich Distributing with Vice President Sarah Matesich Schwab.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
So you are the next generation of family-owned business. And congratulations again on your 90th anniversary.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it is to be a family-owned business in Licking County and how is that advantageous?
Sure. We actually originated in Zanesville, Ohio, and we had 2 locations later on in the 1970s between Zanesville and Newark. And technology, which will be a constant theme that I'll talk about, really kind of invigorated our industry with controlled environment warehousing. And we were forced to essentially build a new location to incorporate that new technology. And we wanted to be a little bit closer to the Columbus Brewery. So within the 10 counties that we service, Licking County was our best option. It was closer to Franklin County, to the Columbus Brewery with Anheuser-Busch, and it allowed us to build a brand new warehouse in a great community such as Newark.
Yeah, great. So touching on that a little bit, how has doing business changed both for your company and your family over the years?
Oh, 90 years. I'm the fourth, I'm the 4th generation
Okay.
Matesich in our company, and technology is changing how we do business. And my dad definitely identified it in the 80s when we brought on our first computer. And information processing systems. Those are all things that have really kind of shifted how we go to market. And ever more so within the past few years, how we go to market, e-commerce, that's all going to change in how we do business. So relationships are still going to be really important to us,
Absolutely.
Getting that face-to-face interaction, but somehow finding a way to incorporate new technologies to access information not only for our customers that we work with, but for our company.
Sarah, when you think about the future of not only Matesich Distributing, but our business community as a whole, what is your vision going forward?
My biggest vision is that we're on kind of the cusp of a major growth spurt, and I think that we're really positioning ourselves to attract a lot of businesses and young families to our community. And I think the one asset that a lot of young families, like myself, when you have children, is that you look at the school systems and you want to make sure that families and businesses are reinvesting back into the community. And so I think making sure that the business community finds a way to support the school systems and support other local businesses to make our community stronger is the one thing that's really going to stand out.
So if you're talking to other families or really anybody that would come in and say, I'm thinking about doing business here in Licking
Sure.
County, what would you say, like a quick elevator speech? What are the assets that you would point out?
Well, as a member of the Young Leaders of Licking County, I think that group has really stood out as an asset to say, man, we have a next generation of workers, of people who want to step into leadership positions and are passionate about our county. I think that says a lot. They're involved in our community, they're willing to step up and participate and volunteer, but I think that there are significant assets that we have that attract families here. And one of them is obviously the downtown Newark area and the revitalization that's happening. I think the Buckeye Lake region is huge. It's going to be a really big asset. And what Bike Buckeye Lake is doing to connect a lot of the bike trails.
Yeah, and the young leaders are definitely an asset.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being a part of that.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you again for being here and for chatting with us about the forecast for Licking County.
Thank you.
I'm here with Scott Rusch, President and CEO of Anomatic Corporation. Scott, thank you so much for being here. So your family has operated Anomatic Corporation for several decades, and we know the facility in Newark, and then you recently expanded here in New Albany. Can you tell us why you located in Licking County and then chose to expand here as well?
Originally, we were located in Westerville. We'd been there since 1971. But the facility was rather old, and we really needed to look for a new site. So in the late 80s, we looked around Central Ohio. We wanted to keep our team of people together. And so we approached Newark. We talked with Mayor Bill Moore, Jack O'Neill Southgate, and Elizabeth Welsh of the Chamber. And they outlined a plan for us to come to Newark, showed us a facility, a tract of land where they would build a plant for us. And because of the long heritage of manufacturing in Newark, some tax incentives, which were helpful, but also just the warm welcome by the city of Newark, which is very important. It's been a great experience for Anomatic. The business has prospered. We've actually tripled the size of the facility. We've grown from 100 full-time jobs to 600 today, and we continue to reinvest into that facility. Fast forward to what's happened over the last few years is we did have an issue regarding capacity in 2010. Coming off the recession year, the business was really booming, and so we needed to look for additional capacity. And at the same time, we learned of this beauty and personal care park that was being developed here in New Albany. It was an ideal situation for us, and things fell into place. We launched a facility in 2012, doubled the size in 2014. We now have 200 full-time employees here in New Albany.
Yeah. So with that many employees, workforce attraction and development obviously is a hot topic. What does Anomatic do to recruit and retain and train your employees, and how do you feel about the current talent pool?
Well, actually, we would say that the talent pool is really very large.
Okay.
We've been very pleased with the talent that we've been able to find in Central Ohio, particularly in Licking County. But it is a very competitive environment. There's a lot of people that look for the engineering type jobs that we need. And with low unemployment, certainly that boosts wages as well. So to really recruit the best people, what we've done is we've organized internally within our HR department to add recruiters and people that specialize in trying to find those skilled trades. We haven't stopped there either. We continue to add more jobs, such as interns and traineeships. Right now, we're working with COTC and CTEC to develop those programs academically to help to fill in some of the gaps of what people are learning in the shop.
Is there anything else you feel the community could do to be prepared to recruit manufacturing and other businesses, in 2019 and beyond?
What I would say is that I think the most important thing is just to play to your strength. Newark and Licking County really have this great foundation of good technical talent and manufacturing expertise. Been known for it. It's been part of the culture for a long time. I think with CTAC and COTC, those are two, and the branch, those are great resources for developing more and more talent. So I would just stay right there, and I would promote that, and I would continue to build on it, because ultimately what happens with companies is they're going to go where the talent is.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hi, I'm here with Nancy Anderson, Executive Director of the Midland Theater here in downtown Newark. Thank you for having me here today and for being willing to talk to us.
Well, we're delighted to welcome you to the Midland.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about your forecast for 2019 for the Midland Theater, your take on downtown, anything up and coming you want to chat about.
Well, downtown is in a great shape right now. It's beautiful and ready to welcome all types of tourists and visitors to our fair city, and we're really looking forward to a strong year.
Okay. How would you say that the economy affects how much ticket sales you have and visitors to your location?
Well, it certainly does affect ticket sales because, we don't sell a needed product, as some might think, although I think the arts are very needed.
Absolutely.
But, we sell memories and we sell experiences. So if there isn't a lot of disposable income, those types of concert experiences are going to be the first thing that people cut out of their budgets. So with the strong economy and the increase in jobs, people are feeling, I think, very optimistic about their futures. They have more disposable income in their pockets, and that bodes well for us because they're going to be coming to concerts, and they're also giving more charitable-wise, and so that helps us out as well, as we do rely heavily on private and corporate donors.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if people want to know what's up and coming for 2019, where do they find that? On your website?
They can find that on our website at midlandtheater.org, and it's updated, if not daily, at least weekly. So,
Okay, great. Thanks again for being here.
you're welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, I'm here with Mike Sarap, owner of Red Oak Pub and Elliot's wood-fired kitchen and tap, which we're at right now. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So you've been in business about a year and a half here. What made you decide to open a restaurant in downtown Newark?
Andre, my wife, and I were looking at downtown and have been for some time because of the great leadership that we have in our community and the resurgence of our downtown and how beautiful it is. And Andre and I thought it would be a good investment to come down and buy a piece of property. And then the gentleman that we were talking to said that the Sparta building has gone under a new ownership, and that the business that was supposed to go in had backed out 2 days previous. So we immediately came over and talked to Phil Claggett, who owns the building, and we've always loved this spot. I mean, it's a cherished, genuine hallmark of the community, with the Sparta restaurant and then Elliot Hardware. And we walked in and we just fell in love with the place. And we didn't even have a concept at the time. And but we ended up talking to Phil that day and struck up an agreement. And then we developed the concept from there.
Yeah. Well, you've been really busy. Every time I come in, I usually wait, which is great.
We're very blessed.
Any surprises, since opening?
Yeah, huge surprises. We found all the beautiful brick underneath all of the wood. That was beautiful, but the brick in here is back from 1890 when they built the building, and we just said, holy smokes, we were so blessed to have that, and we exposed as much as we could. And then with the business, we budgeted for X amount. In the community, through the great support that we have in our community and word of mouth, we're so blessed to have the business that we have today. That was totally unexpected.
So not only as a restaurant, but business in general in Licking County, what's your vision going forward over the next few years?
Man, we are so optimistic because we have great leadership in our local community, Newark, and we have great leadership in Heath and Granville. That they all seem to work together, and then they all work together with our county commissioners in a vision that they have the ultimate goal, and that is, I feel, to develop an economic viability within our community first and in the county with organizations such as Amazon, and I believe Facebook is coming, and then the New Albany, and then our industrial complex out in south of Heath, and everything that's going on there. And the great thing is that if people are making a good living, then they're going to come and be able to eat out. So we're really optimistic about the leadership and then the employment structure of all the associates that we have. We have over 90 now that work with both of our organizations, and we're so blessed because it all starts with our associates, and we're real optimistic about Licking County. Absolutely.
Thanks, Mike, and to all of our economic forecast panelists for their thoughtful insights. I truly hope 2019 is a great one for all of you.